why is a time like this a great time to make money?
Well, it's a great time to be introspective and to pivot and to do resets and to try stuff you never tried before.
Yeah.
Because you might as well, right? We're all sitting at home. We got to try something.
Got those free time. Yeah.
I mean, we pivoted a whole bunch of product lines here at Ramsey and all kinds of things, and we could throw all these offerings out there, stuff that we might have messed around with split tests for a year or whatever. Instead, we just dumped it on the street. Let's just try it. Just see if we can help some people and give some people something to do while they're at home with some digital products. And so that's exciting. You may have a situation where you hated your job. I mean, statistics tell us that 68% of Americans hate their job. And some of you don't have that job anymore. So you get the opportunity to get one you like now.
Yeah.
And you might not have done that on your own. So this could be the best thing that ever happened to you. There's a lot of good that comes out of this much pressure because it forces you to reset.
Yeah.
It forces you to rethink. And, 2 or 3, 4 crises ago, I don't know, I'm an old guy now, I had a personal crisis, of losing everything. I decided I was never going to be the victim of the things I can control when one of these things that I can't control come at me again. And so we got out of debt and we built an emergency fund. And we were in the last downturn of 2008, we were in a position we had piles of cash. And so I was able to buy real estate at a nickel and a dime on the dollar. And it was a wonderful time. But there were other times I was broke and couldn't take advantage of stuff being on sale. But if you're in a position you got money right now, the stock market's on sale, real estate's not moved much yet. But if you're buying even consumer items other than toilet paper, most things are on sale.
I know. How much deeper down do you think this will take in terms of, you said real estate's not on sale yet, but it probably will be. How much farther down do you think things are going to go, and for how long, with your, just your guess on this?
I mean, weather forecasters and economists, the only people can be wrong all the time and still keep their job. So I have no idea, but I do know there's going to be a direct correlation between how long we stay out and how long it takes us to recover. No kidding. It's kind of common sense. The obvious is every week that we're out, there's another series of businesses that will never reopen, that will close. And that's a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of the gross domestic product, all the goods and services produced in the U.S., shrinking rather than growing. That's all it is. It receded rather than expanded. And so recession sounds like a big, scary depression type word, but it simply means 2 quarters. We've not had 1 quarter yet of shrinkage. So it would have to be up into the fall before you can officially declare this a recession or what results from the corona shutdowns a recession. So I don't know, but I'm sure hoping that the folks are not ill and that nobody dies, and it's a horrible thing. And but the juxtaposition with that is the sooner we can get back to work, the fewer people are going to be affected by the economics of this. And it's not saying I'm trading a dollar for a life, but today, actually, we've lost about 100 jobs per case of corona right now.
Wow.
So the corona shutdown
in America, or
in America, yeah, we've lost about, the corona shutdowns affected 100 families' jobs for every case, not death, for every case of the virus. And I don't want anybody to be sick. I don't want anybody to die, and I don't want the hospital bills and the beds and the ventilators to run out. I don't want any bad stuff. Okay? I'm not a medical person, but I am an entrepreneur, and I'm every day we're not working is a trade-off, and it is a good trade-off because you don't want to kill people. Believe me, I'm not saying that, but man, it's painful to watch these people lose their businesses.
Yeah. From you mentioned you've been through 3 or 4 recessions. I don't want to say your age out here, but it sounds like you've been around the block. You've experienced some stuff. I only went through really, I guess my adult life when I was 24. I guess it was the 2008 to 2009 time frame when I was just got out of school and I was trying to figure out my life. I had 3 credit cards I was living off of. I was living on my sister's couch for a year and a half. I was in college debt, and I didn't have any skills that I thought were usable to get a job or do anything. And when I look back, 11, 12 years ago, that was actually the greatest time and the greatest gift for me to develop skills, to work hard, to hustle, to try to see how can I make $100 here and there, and then turn that into a business. And it was the greatest it was the hardest time and the greatest time for me. I'm curious, with your experience in watching these over the years, what were the greatest lessons you learned from each one that you applied in the last 3 weeks with your personal business?
Well, it is cliche, but cliches come from truth. That it's the greatest time and the worst time in your life. You don't want to go back there.
No.
Good Lord, no. I don't want to
Never.
go back there. I went bankrupt. I lost everything in my 20s. I don't want to go back there. But the lessons that I learned from that pain were so thorough. Pain is a thorough teacher.
Yes.
That it was a rich time. The fertilizer was everywhere. Lots of places to grow stuff, lots of poop. So, and that's what you had there in 2008. There weren't any jobs. You could just, there was a contraction of the economy, a recession, and you are on your citrus couch. And so you found out that the secret sauce in your life is the guy in your mirror.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not some outside variable that's going to come and save you. The cavalry's not coming. Santa Claus doesn't live in Washington, D.C. It's up to you, baby. Get up off the couch. I got to go leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. You found that truth in that moment. I found that truth that, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That old saying. I found that truth. And so nowadays, now that I've been through, Y2K or 911 or all these initials come at you, the horrible thing of 2008, now the corona, the only thing I am sure is we're going to get through this.
Yeah.
You get hope because you go, it's not going to kill you. Well, I guess you could get the virus. I don't mean that, but I'm saying the economic stress that we're under, the fear that we have, the concern or the worry that we have, you don't die from it. But you feel like there's this hopelessness, and the truth is that's unfounded. The truth is there's a lot of reason to have hope. By September, where do you really think we're going to be? By this time next year, are you not 90-something% sure that the economy will be roaring again and your life will be back to some level of normalcy? You think it's going to be 10 years for you to personally recover from this? No, that's absurd. And you know that once you've walked through several of them. And so it's just, to me, it's like, yeah, you're going to make it. We're going to be okay.
Yeah. And so I guess I'm just curious about your personal thoughts. Do you think to yourself, like, I'm fine because I've followed my 7 steps for years and I've got, cash and I feel safe and protected. So now how can I shift and adapt and pivot and serve my community and customers more? Or do you feel any anxiety personally at all? Or?
Oh, no, none. No, we're in fabulous financial shape. It's not I got a lot of money invested in the stock market. It's going down. I'm going to put some more money in while it's on sale. If real estate goes on sale again, I'll buy some more. So no, my personal stuff, it's not arrogance. It's just I've been doing this a long time.
You're the king of it. Yeah.
I'm the little pig in the brick house. Huff and puff, baby. And so, but it does put you in a position to serve then. And truthfully, you get more joy, even in a crisis, in serving than you do in sitting in the basement and counting your coins. The opportunity. I got 1,000 folks on our team, and the struggle and the scratching and the scrappiness and the clawing to keep this place running, and all of them not have their incomes interrupted in any way during this time. That's an act of service and leadership. The act of service of speaking hope and life into this, into the communities around America right now is an act of service on my part. It's being on the air 3 hours a day of the Dave Ramsey Show and saying it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, over and over and over again. Right now, that's my job. That's what I do, and it's there. That's just so much more satisfying than counting coins.
Yeah. Now, I followed your steps when I was, 25, 26, when I started making some money. When I was like, it's hard to follow a step when you feel like you're living off credit cards and in debt and you're not making any money. So you feel like this sense of helplessness, really. And I know I've listened to a lot of your shows with people where they feel helpless, and it takes that initial momentum to kind of kickstart it and see a little savings here and there and then pay off one thing here and there. But I tell you, once I finished those, I guess really the first 5 to 6 steps, I don't have a home still. I still rent for personal reasons, but the first 5 to 6 steps and then building wealth and giving. Once I got through these, it's just like, man, you feel so much more bulletproof I feel so much more bulletproof now. After 10 years of building into this recession, I feel safe. I feel fine. I feel protected. And it gives me so much more peace of mind since I did follow your steps. So I would first want to acknowledge you for that, for creating something so simple for us and providing this 3 hours a day for everybody. I think it's amazing. You sound like a preacher and a motivational speaker to me in the last few minutes, just speaking life and hope into us. So I appreciate that. What are you telling the people right now who are saying, you know what, I didn't follow your advice. I didn't do what I should have done. I still live off of credit cards. I overbought, paid for my house, and I've got this expensive lifestyle and credit cards that I know I'm wrong. I made a mistake. I own it, and now I'm screwed. And I just got 50% cut of my work. I might lose my job in 2 months. I've got all these bills. Like, how do you even respond to something like that?
Yeah. Well, I certainly don't say I told you so. That's not the message, because I've been there. I've done stupid stuff too, and that's not helpful. And it doesn't bring any healing. The thing is this: we all get wake up calls. Mm-hmm. We get wake up calls in our relationships, our spiritual walk, our leadership styles. We get wake up calls in our finances, and some people, the phone's ringing off the hook right now. They're getting wake up calls on a bunch of things. They're at home with their family, and they're starting to realize, I was disconnected from my family. I haven't been plugged in. They got a wake up call on their relationships at home. They've gotten a wake up call on, I don't have any savings, and I'm deeply in debt. This isn't working. And so the cool thing is, when you get the call, then you have to make the choice. Are you going to answer the phone? If you pick the phone up, that means, baby, it's time to change. And you can look back, and you might be 27 years old right now watching this, and you're screwed. You lost your job. You got no money. You got no savings, and you feel like it's all over. And I remember in 1970, I was 10 years old, and I was in my grandpa's backyard. We were tearing down an old deck, and I pulled some nails out of those old boards as we were taking the boards off. And he taught me to put them down and straighten them with a hammer and save those used nails in a coffee can. Now, my grandpa Ramsey was one of my favorite people on the planet. This is 1970, and he was still answering the phone that rang in the Great Depression. It changed his life. He was frugal and careful and wise with money the rest of his life. And so someday, 27-year-old, you're going to be sitting on the back porch with your grandkid, and you're going to remember, back in 2020, there was the coronavirus, and it changed my life, and that you're going to be that guy. You're going to be giving dad jokes, and grandpa jokes, right? Like I am now. And you're going to get that opportunity. I was 28 years old when I lost everything. It was my fault. It was the S&L crisis. The banking climate changed. I'd built a house of cards. I was stupid. And the phone rang. It was my wake-up call. Are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to change your life to where you say, never again? I'm going to control the controllables to where I'm the little pig in the brick house. Never again. That may be the only thing you get out of this crisis. And if it is, you got enough.
Preach to me, Dave. Come on now. I love this. What's the biggest wake-up call for you that this has had? Maybe it's not the financial side of things or business because you guys are thriving. Is there something, relationship, family, friendships, health? Is there anything that's woken you up now or in the near future and recently?
Well, I've spent the last 15 years pouring into our leadership team and into the Ramsey personalities, creating this succession plan it's not a wake-up call. It's more of a source of pride as to how our leadership team and our Ramsey personalities are reacting in the moment here without me coaching them. They already knew what to do.
They're leading.
They're out there doing it. They're doing it. They're out there.
They're not waiting for Grandpa Dave to say, what do I do? Tell me the steps.
They already did it. They already did it, and then I found out about it. And that's awesome. And so it's just a sense of this is starting to work. I mean, when Rachel Cruz and Ken Hogan and these guys Ken Coleman are doing all these hits, and Chris Hogan, all these guys are doing all these hits, these radio and TV and appearances and all this stuff everywhere, and the networks are calling and asking for them, which is awesome. And so that kind of thing is. I don't know if it's a wake-up call as much as it's very satisfying to say, all that work of the last decade and a half of getting everybody ready to win because we were winning in a winning environment. But then when you get the pressures on and you get squeezed, you see what comes out, and it's good stuff coming out.
What was the last, what year would you say was the last big wake-up call for you around, one of the main areas of your life? Do you remember when that was? Where you're like, I'm eating a little too many candy bars, or my relationship, or what? It sounds like you've had the finances down for many years, but is there another where you're like, you know what? I really didn't do as good as I should have done here.
I guess it's probably leadership, and I probably get one of those calls every day.
Really?
There's some days I'm a world-class leader, and some days I'm just a butt.
In what way? Like, how are you?
So, sometimes I do a better job than other times as a leader, and I own it. I get it, but you'd think as old as I am, I'd be doing better. So, but I know what I'm supposed to do, but sometimes I just don't have the energy to do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I should just care more. I really should. I shouldn't be such a grouch.
Oh no, you care a lot about a lot of people. I'm curious, what's the best dad joke you share?
Oh Lord, I have no idea. You got me. I'm not a dad joke guy really, other than just stupid stuff off the cuff that doesn't even make sense generationally. So yeah.
No good dad jokes. What is the most common thing that you're hearing with the people that are calling in for you right now? What's the thing that you hear over and over again that they need the most support with?
I think there's a sense. I think when hope gets gut punched, the way it has for folks right now, the answers fall. A lot of them fall in the category of this is not going to last forever, because there's this sense that stock market's down. Do I take my investments out? Well, only if you think it's going to stay down forever,
right?
Because you're 35. You're going to be investing for 30 more years. You don't think it's going to come up in 30 more years? I mean, really, you're predicting the end of America? I mean, that's silly. But your emotions tell you lies when they're based in fear and when they're based in anger, and they tell you lies, and they tell me lies. We believe those lies in situations like this. So, I lost my job. I know, but that's happened before and probably happen again. Just get you another one. Well, there's a lot of people hiring right now.
There are a lot of people hiring.
Amazon's hiring 100,000 people right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's jobs. It may not be the one you want, but you can get some food.
Yeah.
Get you a leaf blower, and rich people are afraid of leaves. You can make some money. So there's some stuff to do out there. But so the thing the sense that the thing you're afraid of is going to last longer than it is.
Yeah.
Whether it's the actual virus, whether it's the shutdowns, whether it's the economic repercussions of the shutdowns, whether it's the employment situation, whether it's the quarantine, it feels like it's going to last forever. But I mean, the chances of you being in the exact situation you're in a few months is almost zero. Yeah. Your life is not a snapshot. You're not trapped in this moment. It's a film strip. The story's going to continue to unfold.
Yeah.
And so that when hope takes a gut punch, though, we get down in that fear, or we're mad, or however it is we manifest that stuff, those negative things, the emotions that we all have in these situations, that's where a lot of my questions are coming. They're all built in that. And I'm spending all my time going, yeah, but it's not going to last forever. Yeah, but it's not going to last forever. Yeah, but let's visit this in May. I think you're going to be okay. By June, are you even going to remember this? It's the great toilet paper shortage of the spring. I don't know. I mean, what is it? It's some people are going to have devastating, horrible things that are going to be life-changing. But that's a very small percentage compared to the number that are worried about it.
Yeah.
And so, you're
going to get out of it. You're going to get out of it.
You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
I like Preacher Dave, man. This should just be Preacher show. I like this. What is the worst investment people should be making during this time, and what's the best investment they can make?
In my life, when I have become desperate, right after that's when I become stupid.
Yeah.
And
explain.
The other one is when I get, when you get scared and you go rushing towards something out of fear, that sense of desperation, this thing, when you do that, you're getting ready to screw up. I mean, just count on it. And the other time you do that is if you're greedy. If you think I got this one, I can take advantage of this. And I mean, greedy as a lack of virtue greedy. I don't mean greedy in a positive way where I'm being ambitious. Okay. I mean the negative sides of greed. And so if you're functioning in desperation or in this no holds barred, I'm going to just clean up on other people's pain thing, that's when you're getting ready to screw up and you're getting ready to make a major mistake. And so you're set up also for con artists when you do that. And so if you're functioning in high emotion, your brain just doesn't work good. My friend Art Laffer says, when you're panicked and when you're drunk, you don't make good decisions. And so, when you're on high emotion, your brain your critical thinking skills shut down. And so that's when I've made the biggest mistakes in my life, is when I was desperate, and the few times that I was greedy, where I thought, I'm going to slip in there and that's going to be easy money. We all get wake-up calls. We get wake-up calls in our relationships, our spiritual walk, our leadership styles. We get wake-up calls in our finances. The cool thing is, when you get the call, then you have to make the choice. Are you going to answer the phone?